Final Fantasy VII Remake is a game where you play as a sad little buff boy that gets all the ladies, and most of the dudes too. But before I start the actual review, it is highly recommended that you play the original Final Fantasy VII before starting this game, so you can be confused a second time by the story. Anyways, the first part of the Final Fantasy Remake trilogy takes place entirely in Midgard, a city whose government is entirely ruled by a private company, which I feel like I've heard this setup before. The only issue I have with the story taking place in Midgard is that there isn't much change of scenery throughout the story. Even when you go to a new location, it still feels very familiar, and it can make certain dungeons drag a bit when there isn't much story happening at that moment. Also, it makes the game very linear, which isn't something that I mind too much, but what I do mind is when they still try to slip in side quests. I'm sorry, game, but I don't want to walk around the area searching for lost orphans. I'm going to do that because it'll keep me up at night if a side quest remains unfinished, but I'm not going to be happy about it. Now, as far as the gameplay goes, there are early game moments that feel like combat is a square mashing simulator. However, I do urge you to push through that part of the game to get into more intriguing battle mechanics later in the game. Obviously, materia is a big focus of this game, and selecting the right materia for your party that you're running is necessary to overcome challenges that the game throws your way. I also love that you can upgrade weapons in this game. It gives each weapon a reason to use it depending on how you want your characters to be built, and allows for beginning weapons like the iconic Buster Sword to be viable throughout the whole game. Graphically speaking, the game is gorgeous even in 2026. I'm not sure how Square Enix seems to be able to make graphics that age so well, but it's definitely something that they've mastered over the years. I would also like to add that the music in this game is great, which is honestly to be expected from a Final Fantasy title. Overall, I'm going to give Final Fantasy VII Remake an 8 out of 10. It's a great game to play through and enjoy, but you do have to power through some of the more boring sections of the game. And one last thing before I go, I just want to thank everybody that's liked, commented, and subscribed over the last couple of months. As a new channel, all of that means the world to me, and I hope you continue to show that support as I continue this journey. Thank you all, and I'll see you on the next one.